Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am ManyNinjas. Welcome to the next installment of Retro Ninja Gaming, where we continue our run on Rockman 4 minus Infinity. At this point of the run, we've gone through 4 of the 8 Robot Masters, which the last one being a Dustman. The importance of getting Dustman's weapon was that when used on certain enemies or mid-bosses, you're actually able to get bonus items that will help enhance Mega Man's abilities later on in the game. Speaking of which, we're going to go collect one of those hidden items right now in Brightman stage. Oh, this is certainly different. As you can probably guess, the first part of Brightman stage runs off a nice little gimmick here where you can only see part of the stage at a time. In this case, as a result of some technical issues that probably would have popped up there, Kurosabe also had to program in some Game Boy style power and life bars in order to compensate for the fact that if you were to use the standard stuff here, you wouldn't actually be able to see your own energy. Also, as you just noticed, blowing up certain enemies will actually increase the range of view, while if you were to blow up the glowing light bulbs that are kind of just dropping off those little pellets there, you would actually be limiting your view instead. While this field of vision bit is a clever gimmick, to be honest, it really doesn't hinder the gameplay that much, because the furthest or the narrowest that the field of vision can really get at any given time is roughly Mega Man's height, and honestly, for the most part, the enemies in this section won't actually be in such places where you won't have that much of a hard time finding them anyway. As for this part of the stage, very shortly there's going to be a little bit of a hidden drop that's disguised by your lack of vision here, which I'm about to show. This nice little hover pad here will take you to a free E-Tank and 1-up for that matter. And at this point, I think I'm gathering quite a few 1-ups. And an E-Tank, thank you Eddie, that was actually rather useful. In addition to some of the added enemies from Spark Mandrill stage over in Mega Man 3, we also have this, I believe, a Game Boy exclusive enemy that's been recolored and added to Brightman stage here. While it's charging, you can't really attack it, but at any other time, it's good to go with anything else. In this case, we're moving toward the next mini-boss, which is actually where we're going to find that hidden item. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, Shadow Man. In this case, he's still using the same dumbed-down jumping pattern from the earlier fight. The general plan involving Shadow Man is to use any sort of weapon that will take more damage off his health, and then pulling out the recycle nail when he's already near critical in order to get a better chance to choose getting his item. There we go. We now have Shadow Man Superstar. As for what the Superstar does, it pretty much boosts Mega Man's critical shot overall, increasing the chance of it coming out as well as the damage it can do. And as you probably guessed from the appearing and disappearing items there, the name now throws a new mechanic your way with these these blocks and ladders that'll be appearing and disappearing on a regular fashion. If you happen to be standing on one when it disappears or it's fading out, you're going to fall through it. Or if you happen to be standing in an area where something is just appearing and fully solidifies, Mega Man will get caught on that spot and take damage. So it's just something to watch out for. Especially in this next section where you're actually going to be hopping over on those same kind of blocks over Bottomless Pits. AKA, this is a pretty easy way to die, and on some of my numerous runs beforehand, I experienced at least 1 or 2 stupid deaths on this kind of section. Fortunately, I find these large blocks here to be a lot more lenient than the standard Yoku blocks you find in most Mega Man games, and thankfully there aren't too many areas where there'll be pits that you can possibly fall into. Of course, that was a demonstration of exactly what it looks like when you take damage from being where a block is just appearing. And there we go again. Fortunately, the enemies from Spark Man stage are pretty easy to go through, and I just glitched through there. Speaking of deaths, here's a place where you can actually die really easily if you're careless there. When those spikes happen to go into place, they will kill you instantly. Pretty much here, they want you to do a well-timed drop in order to slide into the next section, and hello, fully optional jumping. What the game really wants you to do there is to carefully navigate your way through the pattern there to get as far along as you can, but fortunately with the wire adapter we can skip quite a few bits of the game. In fact, I'd say the wire adapter is probably too strong overall for this game and will let you break a lot of sequences, which will be coming up especially in some of the later runs. Actually, now I think I'm not even that much later. You can actually break through a lot of the sequences around this last part of Brightman stage just with the wire adapter alone. The wire adapter itself uses no power, so you can basically use it as many times as you want, and with some careful jumps and application, you can use it to skip a lot of tedious and possibly deadly jumps along the way. Before I go through the boss gate and shatter Brightman into a million little pieces, let's just take a quick look at the superstar item that we acquired from this stage from Shadow Man himself. Grab the way through here. This is what was attached on Shadow Man's forehead. This amplifies cruelty. This increases the critical chance and the critical damages. I believe that boosted damage now means he can do upwards to 8 bars of damage if he manages to get his critical. Moving on to Brightman here, his initial pattern is honestly not too hard if you're doing a little fancy footwork there. It's basically his ball attack, which gets a bit of a forward explosion as long as those sparks. But during Desperation mode, he gets this flash attack where if you're not standing in his shadow, you'll get hit wherever you are on the screen. And if you were allowed to live long enough, he would also get an attack where he can just jump around, and when he lands, there would be sparks on the ground as well, if you're standing too close. With Brightman down though, that makes 5 of the 8 overall Robot Master of this game down. And we also get his weapon, the Spark Mandrill. Kind of a weird name there. We're now 55 minutes into the game. Still got quite a bit of game to go. And I'll catch you all next time with the next Robot Master. Take care.